Guys, good Friday morning. Jerry Miller, welcome to Real Talk. This is an insider's guide to real estate life and the pursuit of happiness. It's presented by the Yes Team Realtors. It airs Tuesdays and Fridays at 10:15 a.m. on the I Love CVille Network. We have a Central Virginia, a Charlottesville, Commonwealth, and countrywide audience. Heck, I'll even throw the world in there. And this show has gained a lot of traction because of the vision of the distinguished gentleman. I think we should, Judah Wickhauer, go to the studio camera. And first we will highlight, we do this for every show, that we are 8 feet away.
7.5.
Eight.
Let's 7.5.
We're well over 6. We're well over 6, that's for certain. So undoubtedly social distancing right here at our I Love CVille studio. Good morning.
Good morning. Was the vision thing a poke at my new readers that I picked up this morning?
The vision thing was a nod to you being able to see the forest through the trees.
Oh, well.
And building in 24 months a show that's watched by pretty much every real estate firm in Charlottesville and Central Virginia.
Well, you guys helped us with that, and and our lovely sponsors, because we couldn't be doing this without them. But
your homie Quentin Beckham says, "Good morning, Keith."
Good morning.
So does Johnny. Johnny's watching right now.
Yeah, Johnny. There you go.
Yeah.
Going to see Johnny later on today.
He's
Looking forward
excited.
to that.
He says, "Good morning, Keith."
There you go. Good morning, Johnny. So, so we're going to talk Lake Monticello a little bit later. We're going to call in Matt. We're going to dive into some stats and really kind of focus on these micro markets. That's what we're going to kind of be doing next kind of few Fridays and Tuesdays going in here. So, I wanted to start with Lake Monticello. It's my back door. I've lived in there since 1987.
No one knows it better.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I know it for 30-something years.
You know it like the Pope knows holy water.
There you go.
Keith Smith and Lake Monticello.
Or wine.
Or wine. Right.
So, but I want to start on a couple of things that are near and dear in my heart in the first 10 or 15 minutes of the show, and hopefully some real estate agents that are watching can chime in and share some thoughts on it. The first thing I want to start with is, Jude, if you wouldn't mind, put that intro slide up. First time below 3%, Freddie Mac.
It's 50, on screen, amazing.
50 years.
Right, and we never see you at a loss for words. Me too. Put it in perspective with what you said before the show with you personally.
Yeah, so when we bought our first house in, what was it, 88, we paid 18% interest.
Yeah.
And was happy to get it.
Right.
And that was like on a $100,000 loan, but in 1988, $100,000 is maybe $250 or something like that. Now I couldn't tell you what the inflation would be on it, but I would have loved 3%. So what that does, there's a thing called the affordability index. So we talk about affordability in two different ways, right? The first way that, the affordability of prices, folks can afford homes, but the lower the rate goes, the more house you can buy, right? Because most people...
What's the ratio of your take home you like to keep it around?
Oh...
Your monthly nut for housing.
It's supposed to be around 30%.
Around 30%.
But I don't
think most Americans do that.
Most Americans do not do that.
Right.
Yeah, do not do that. But it's true. If your rates go down, so most people, when they look for homes, they kind of figure out, how much I can afford a month, and let's fit a house into that. So this, as the interest rates drop, the more per month go, you can afford more house. So I thought that was really a great place to start today. Folks are talking about why is the real estate market humming along, which are many reasons for it. But when you have interest rates like this, that helps. And we had a conversation off air, which is a whole separate conversation about jumbo loans. But this product is tiered towards the first-time home buyer.
So I was going to throw that to you.
Sure.
So we're seeing historically low interest rates,
Sure.
Generational low. I don't think I will ever see interest rates this low again. But this is going to have an impact on a certain home buyer, not all home buyers.
Correct. Yeah, it's really geared to a certain price point on it. I can't remember what the jumbo amount is. It's in maybe 550, 560, something like this. It gets a little tricky, and somebody might be able to chime in.
Yeah, let us know, Quentin. Quentin, you're watching. What's the jumbo threshold there?
So somebody smarter than me knows that.
I think you're right there.
Yeah, somewhere around 560, something like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to start off on that. It's going to kind of tie back into when we talk about Lake Monticello.
May I ask you a question?
Sure, of course.
And I learned from you. With interest rates this historically low, with them clearly geared to the first-time home buyer,
It's not exclusive to
Sure,
that. Yeah.
sure. Two-part question. First part, that clearly has got to be impacting transactions and what price range the transactions are happening. I'm curious of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second part of the question, Keith, is how does it impact the agents themselves with their mindset and how they pursue their individual businesses?
That second question is an interesting one.
I mean, because what's the word of 2020? The word of 2020 is what? Probably pivot? Everyone
Pivot, yeah.
has to try something new, change a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, I think COVID forced that, right?
Exactly.
Right. And we were having a conversation with somebody the other day, actually, governmental folks, some local governmental folks I was having a conversation with actually yesterday. You know, the private sector, particularly our industry, pivoted real quickly. We put in protocols, Charlottesville Association Realtors, Virginia Realtors, National Association Realtors, got into this thing real fast, real aggressively, and then we adapted as individuals, agents, and brokerages to it. So some do things a little bit differently, but in a global sense, we really adapted it. You know, unfortunately, some of the local governments are just trying to catch up because they just don't move as fast as we can.
Sure.
So to do that. The first question about price range, and we're going to get into this when we talk about Lake Monticello. You know, that 3%, I mean, you can get a $400,000 or $500,000 loan. Once you start getting into jumbo, it gets a little difficult, but it's really geared for this kind of 300, 350 and under. Again, doesn't mean that you can't do a 400 or 450 or 500, but it's really geared towards that. I wouldn't call it a first-time home buyer program so much, but that's kind of the price point.
Multiple agents have put the threshold for jumbo.
Yeah, what is it?
We'll go to Quentin. We trust and respect Quentin on the show. Quentin Beckham, for most counties in Virginia, the jumbo threshold is $510,400.
Wow, I was way off.
It goes, you were right there.
Well, 560 to 510 is a big difference.
Yeah, and it goes up to 765, 500 in high-cost counties.
Sure.
Quentin Beckham right there on the feed. Give the show a like and a share.
So is that 510 in our area?
Yeah, for most counties in Virginia, jumbo threshold is 510, 400.
That's a scary number.
How so?
It's low.
510, 400 is low.
That's low.
For city and county, city and Almoro especially.
Yeah.
Is that safe to say?
No, I'm again stuttering. That's twice in the show I didn't even get started yet.
Right. 510, 400 is...
I got to run some numbers for the next show on that, see what's available at that price point.
Well, what are you thinking off the back of a napkin, off the top of your head?
Well, I think there's plenty of product out there at that price point, but that's a low number to impact. So, when you start getting over $500,000, a lot of product around here is over $500,000. So, interesting. That we're going to save that for another show.
Sure. We'll give some love to Roy Wheeler, Realty Company, Keith Smith.
Couldn't be doing it here without him. Couldn't be doing this without the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Guthrie, and actually had a great conversation with yesterday, which we haven't caught up on the phone in a while, and just checking in and how's life and stuff like that. So that was a good check-in phone call. Haven't done that in a while.
Another thing near and dear to my friend's heart is fair housing.
Yeah. So we take real estate agents and realtors take this very seriously. Yonna and I take it very seriously. So if you can go to slide number 1. So I just wanted to showcase this a little bit. National Association of Realtors are doing a ad campaign, a print campaign, Facebook campaign on it, so that we as real estate agents can tap into that. Thank you for doing that.
Sure. I know you like this.
Yeah, I do.
You like the visuals.
Yeah, I'm a visual guy.
I'm the visual guy too.
Even though I got all these notes.
Yeah.
I'm a visual guy. Yeah, so, this is important, and we're going to talk for a few minutes about it because, in today's environment, folks need to know who's out there that's got their back. And we as Realtor and we as real estate agents got your back. So if you feel like you're being discriminated against, reach out to somebody. And we're going to talk about that in a minute, who to call, because I created a slide with some numbers.
Sure.
With some numbers on it. But very interesting. So not very interesting, something I just wanted to kind of get out. One of the things that the state has done with its fair housing laws, it has included sexual orientation and gender identity as a protected class. And an interesting thing, which not a lot of folks
As it should be.
As it should be, without a doubt.
I mean, it's crazy that we have to
Actually have this conversation.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, because, I mean, just treat people with respect and do, I mean, but I understand why we do. Not everybody has that mindset. Isn't it nuts in 2020 that we're having to do this?
I got an email from Greg Slater earlier this morning talking about a term called block busting, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later.
It's called what?
Block busting.
Block busting. I've never heard that.
Yeah. So in essence, what it is developers and builders and governments too, because it used to happen way back when that in their ordinances or in their subdivisions or whatever, it kind of changed things and pushed certain buyers to certain locations. I don't really want to get too much in the weeds in it. I actually want to bring him on it. He's really good at that.
Love Greg Slater.
Good on that subject.
Yeah.
But the second thing is they did the sexual orientation, gender identity as a veteran. Very specific. So if you're a veteran and you are, you identify differently, they can't, discriminate against you. So it's just, you're 100% right. I literally can't believe I wanted to spend time about this because we have to.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just nuts. So let's be kind to one another. We say this all the time. Get out there and do the right thing. Do, sprightly. But I'm going to ask Judy to put up slide 3. So if you feel like you're being discriminated against, particularly in the housing sector, there's 3 basic folks you can call. The first one is call your trusted advisor, real estate agent.
Yeah.
And say, hey, I feel I'm being discriminated against.
I mean, if they called you, you would go to the wall for them.
Oh, yeah, without doubt.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be on the other side of that with you.
Oh, you have, yeah.
And there you see it.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's slide 2. I apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize. That's this many, right?
There she is.
Yeah, thank you. So if you're watching, these are the numbers to call. It's the Virginia Fair Housing Office, the Virginia Real Estate Board, and then you can always call CAR, and they'll point you in the right direction. But again, the fact that we actually have to talk about this is freaking ridiculous.
Terry Benton is watching.
Hey.
Terry Benton says, you're looking great, Keith.
Terry-
Keep up the good work.
Terry Benton, I like that.
Yeah?
That is class lady.
Union Bank and Trust?
Yeah, used to be.
Okay.
I don't know where Terry is right now. You should ask her that.
Terry, where are you? Where are you these days? Thank you for watching the program.
Yeah.
Thank you for offering kind words to the distinguished gentleman. If
Yeah.
you guys have
Oh,
comments,
that's a name for the past.
put the comments in the feed and we'll relay them on air. My friend,
One more
Sure.
housekeeping thing
Yeah,
that I want
yeah,
to go through. So we've been talking about the emergency rent and mortgage relief program. So
Yes.
that is slide 3. That's this many. So that started on the 15th of July. I got a bunch of phone calls. We had a
2.2 million.
2.2 million.
Yeah.
I had a meeting on this 2 days ago, I think it was, with the executive director and the folk, and Christine Jacobs, who's running this program for us. And let's say on the Zoom call, you can tell that young lady's been working 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
They are cranking and humming along, trying to get some money to some folks that desperately need it. So, and you've referred me to a couple of folks, and I called and helped them and connected them with it. But give the phone call on those numbers there. It's there to help you. So I just wanted to get out some good information at the beginning of the show.
I love it. That was very good information, very timely. Matt Kneece on deck.
Yeah.
Matt's watching now. We'll go to you shortly, Matt. Before we get to Matt, give us a little outline of what you're seeing with Matt, what you're seeing on the horizon.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about Lake Monticello and focus on that. We got a bunch of stats and a couple of pictures, not too much, but Lake Monticello, I've been living there since 1987, has always been kind of maybe overlooked or not given a lot of attention to.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know the answer to that. It's really an awesome, place to live. And we're going to talk a little bit about this during the conversation, but a lot of folks don't know. And if Yonna's watching, she can probably give me the number. But multiple millions of dollars they've spent in the last 4 to 5 years. They rebuilt the pool. They rebuilt the whole clubhouse for the pro shop, for the golf course. They rebuilt the clubhouse. They rebuilt all the tennis courts and basketball courts. They rebuilt all the
amenities.
Every single one of the amenities.
Yeah, that's big time.
Got rebuilt. I mean, and unfortunately, it's never been really promoted too much. We're going to try to fix that a little bit today.
Yeah, that sounds like a branding and marketing campaign. Come move within the neighborhood, and here are the reasons why it should appeal to you.
Well, so the reason is the Lake Monticello Owners Association did all that work, and they're not in the business of selling, right?
Understood.
So
there you go. That's what it is.
That's what it is. And,
yeah.
And when you have 90% built out.
Yeah.
Right, out of 4,500 lots, you got 42 homes, 4,200
yeah.
homes, but they've never, Lake Monticello Owners Association, never been in the sales end of things. They're in the management end of it.
Judah, I have Matt Kneece on the line. We're going to welcome this gentleman to the show. And I'm going to do, I'm going to be Matt Kneece's PR guy for the next 10 seconds before I pass him over to Keith Smith. Okay. Yeah. So before I put that picture up, Keith Smith doesn't even know what we're about to do. Get ready. Are you ready, Judah? Are you ready? All right. I'm going to straight up say this. I think Matt Kneece may be the best dressed real estate agent in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. And I'm going to back this up. Matt cannot see this right now. He will be able to see it in the replay. I've pulled 5 photos from Matt Kneece's Facebook page, including one where he's sitting on a stoop, sharply dressed with a mask on in front of a house. Judah, Matt Kneece's photos on screen. Let's do a montage. Keith Smith is itching to say something right now. Matt Kneece doesn't know what to say. Is this the best dressed guy in Charlottesville real estate?
I would agree with that.
You say that?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Who would challenge Matt Kneece? I'll pass them to you. Who would challenge Matt Kneece on that?
Oh, man. That's 3 times you made me stutter today. I mean, obviously, I would say myself, but I don't want to be.
I knew you were going to say you. Did you see that, Matt Kneece? Let's get Matt Kneece in here.
Well, hold it. You were baiting me, and I knew you were baiting me.
I was baiting you.
I needed to go there
because I know you.
I needed to go.
All right, I'm going to say Matt Kneece number 1. Look at him. He's on screen right there. Look at that. Huh? Yeah, Matt, we're showing photos of you from. Yeah. Is it is it Alton Lane? You're getting it from Matt?
Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me? I don't know if my volume's on, but yes.
We can hear you. We can absolutely hear you, yeah.
Yeah. Alton Lane is a custom shop downtown. They make everything 100% custom start to finish.
Well, that's because you're like a gazillion feet tall.
He's 6'8". I'm going to put put the photo on screen of
Watch
Keith.
The screen.
Yeah, I'm
can he see the screen?
No, he can't. He can see it in the replay, though. He can see it in the replay. Look at that right there.
I can't see.
Look at that.
Put your phone on.
I'm staring at Keith.
Put your phone. Open up the show on your phone.
This is what we got going on right here, Matt Kneece. I got it in screen in front of you. Do you see
That's a good one. That's a good one. I see it. Yeah.
So how tall are you?
6'8".
Yeah.
Yeah. So shopping from a store is borderline impossible.
Right. It's impossible
especially
for you
with dress clothes.
Sure.
Yeah.
And later on, we're going to show a picture where I'm actually taller than you.
I got it.
Up on the
show that one.
All right, I'll see if I can get it up. Throw him a question.
So there's no questions. We're just going to work.
Gary, that was good.
We wanted to give you a little bit of hard time. Does anybody read GQ anymore?
I don't think people read magazines anymore.
Yeah.
Am I Matt, do you read magazines?
Is GQ still out there?
No.
Yeah, GQ's still out there.
The magazine itself?
I mean, it's out there.
Yeah. It's a way. We go to the website.
That was like 1980s. Yeah. That was it. You were if it was in the 1980s and it was Matt Kneece would be walking around with a copy of GQ.
Matt Kneece was born. When were you born, Matt Kneece? 86? 90?
93.
93. 93. Yeah, 93. Come on now. All right, let me throw a Matt Kneece question here. Dude went full time realtor right now.
Yeah,
How's it going, Matt Kneece?
Yeah. It's going great. It was a little bit nerve-wracking at first, but the best part about it was that when I did it and I let Keith know and I let Michael Guthrie know and some of the people that have been close to me, every single one of them said, "Good for you. It's about time. Get to work." Every single one of them were really encouraging and supportive that I took that step. So I was nervous for it at first. I really was, but now, like 30 days in, I'm really glad that I did it.
It's awesome.
Well, you were nervous because you're a smart guy, right? You understood the risks that you were taking, and that's why you're a little bit nervous. Good for you, man. So how are you still motivated?
Thanks. Oh, yeah, give or take.
There you go. Got good days, bad days. Get it?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'll do something every now and then.
So Matt, we're going to have a three-way conversation here, right? And so Matt's helping us, and you guys and your team is helping us try to get some information out about Lake Monticello. It seems that's where the market is going, and it also, frankly, is in need of inventory. So we're going to try to help that along a little bit and let folks know that what's going on at Lake Monticello. So we kind of prefaced this a little bit, and everybody's got a little cheat sheet that I sent out to everybody this morning.
Let's do it.
But so the lake is 4,500 acres. It's 4,200 homes, and it's approximately 10,000 residents. It really depends on who you talk to. Some people say a little bit more. Some people say a little bit less.
That's like a town.
It's a small city.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
that's big.
The amenity package out there that you get. So just to think a little bit about this, you're going to get everything we're going to talk about right now for like $90 a month, under $1,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right. So you get your own police department, your own fire department, get trash picked up, your own EMS on it, snow plowed,
get everything,
all that kind of great stuff. But I'm gonna let the sports guy jump in and talk a little bit about the amenity package out there, if you would like to do that, and I'll jump in on some of the old dude stuff.
There you go.
Like golfing? Is golfing an old dude stuff, or is golfing a young guy?
I think it's in every guy stuff. So
why are you looking at me when you're saying that?
Because you're the only one I can look at.
Matt Kneece.
I've learned to swing a little bit.
There you go.
No, it's beautiful out there. I've been doing a lot of business, a lot of showings, and we have new listings coming on in the lake. So I've been spending more time, and it's growing on me more and more with the beaches and the community itself. It's a very close-knit place, the kind of place where everyone waves to you when you drive by, which from Massachusetts, that is not how things are up there. So that's very different. It's a very friendly environment. But in general, the barrier to entry, it can be a very young community because of how inexpensive the properties are out there. I mean, the same type of properties that you can get there are half as expensive as what they would be in Charlottesville proper. So for what you get, it's an absolute steal.
So I'm going to ask you to take your Realtor hat off for a second, your real estate hat off, and put on your young millennial hat on. Mm-hmm. So your friends, the folks that you spend a lot of time with is in your peer group. Do you think they would like it out there? Do they even know it's out there?
Probably most do not.
Yeah. And why do you think that is?
Probably most do.
I can tell you why that is. And I'm going to throw this to Matt.
What? You answer first, Jerry.
Yeah, I think what it is the drive. I think it's a little bit from our range, and I'm a little bit older than Matt. From our range, it's the drive, and also folks that are in our age gap enjoy going and having good food and drink.
We're going to talk about that.
We need as Zion's Crossroads matures, and Johnny, your guy, is building a phenomenal Mexican restaurant there.
Absolutely.
That's going to help the lake. Matt, your thoughts?
I agree with you. I think the social life in Charlottesville is part of what makes this community what it is. The ability to be close to good food, good drinks, the breweries, the wineries, etc. I think especially with the virus, there's been a huge premium on having space, having some property, and a little bit more square footage. And so I think if I'm having my young person hat on, my millennial hat, not my realtor hat, people are looking to get out of townhouses and apartments and have more space, have more options. And that's why the detached home or communities like that is getting a lot more popular, even if there is a 20-minute drive. I think before that 20-minute drive was stopping people, and now it's becoming more dealable. They're dealing with it a little bit more. But I agree with you, Jerry. I think that's a big reason why.
So I've been living there since 1987. I left my house, parked, walked here. It took me less than 20 minutes.
That's great. That's fast.
To me,
Yeah.
Now you mentioned Massachusetts, New York. I mean, that's like nothing, right? A 20-minute drive. But yeah, I think we talk about this all the time. The drive to qualify, and we'll try to get into some numbers on this end of it. But I can't quote the statistics, but the exact numbers. But the last 2 years running, when NAR did this generational report, 18 and 19, 19 and 20. Well over almost 50% of the millennials buy-in wanted to be in a subdivision, a Lake Monticello kind of thing. So what we're trying to do here is trying to get
My wife, literally, we just went through that. We targeted one because of the communal aspect of everything Matt is saying, and she loves to put our kid in a stroller, walk on a paved path to another mom's house or to a playground.
And listen to
the
Real Talk.
Doing the show while doing that. No BS. That is literally what's happening.
Yeah.
But she targeted that.
Yeah.
Wanted that.
Yeah. And that you that's what you're going to see. And I think COVID-19 just
magnified it
multiple times over. But you mentioned food, right? And a lot of people may not know this about Lake Monticello. We have 13 places to eat.
I didn't know that.
Around Lake Monticello.
I did not know that.
Everything from takeout to sit down.
Okay.
There's a takeout Chinese. There's a takeout Italian. There are Subways. Those kind of restaurants. Then there's Blue 53, which is a sports bar out there. Lake Monticello has 2 restaurants. The best hamburger. I'm a hamburger snob.
Yeah.
Best hamburger around is at the Pro Shop over there. So there is 13 different places with 2 Mexican places. There's a Riverside burger joint out there.
Riverside.
Yeah. Well, right? I think they changed hands. There's a different name. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we have, and I guess when I start talking about Lake Monticello, people don't quite understand that. The Food Lion out there, manager's a friend of mine. Number 1 producing food line in the state of Virginia.
Really?
Number 1.
From gross revenues.
Gross revenues.
Interesting. That's a good tidbit.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Now quantify that. It's for that footprint, right?
Well, so you're saying by the size of that grocery
That's exactly
store.
right.
Okay.
That's exactly right. So, but yeah. So, and a lot of folks don't know. We got like 2 dentists out. Centera has a medical complex out there. And until you, and I would encourage anybody to take a ride out there. You're going to have to reach out to Matt, Yonna, and I, or another realtor because it's a gated community.
Absolutely.
So we have to get them in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's folks just kind of need to get out there and take a look at it a little bit.
Matt Kneece, throw this question to you. You getting buyers to Lake Monticello of our age range, your age range. What's your strategy, Matt Kneece?
Well, I think, first of all, my comment to what Keith was mentioning, I think one of the things with Lake Monticello is it's a bit of the first rule about Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club analogy. And so the lake is there and the people that live there love it, but no one else hears about it. And no one else hears about how good it is or everything that's there. Because I've been starting to do a lot more business out there. And I just learned 2 minutes ago that there's 13 restaurants in that division.
Well, it's not in the subdivision. It's in the surrounding road.
But around it.
There's 2 restaurants inside.
Around it.
Inside of
yeah.
it.
So I think it's a bit of that situation. But to be honest, especially in my age range, like Keith was saying, it's the drive to qualify thing where you can get the barrier to entry. You can get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 170 average. You can find something really decent. And that same general average house in Charlottesville proper is going to be $350.
Easy.
So, yeah, $350 easily.
Well.
And so for a lot of people in my age range, it's kind of a pro-con list. And if especially if you're working from home right now, especially if you're uncertain if you're going to be working from home for the next 6 months at least, the 20-minute drive is pretty minimal compared to, being able to get into a home for under 200 that you actually like.
Can you put slide 4 up, please? So everything that I love working with millennials, and that's, I guess, why we love
Well, you're
Matt.
a millennial at heart. Yeah, you're a millennial.
Heart,
You're a millennial in a, how old are you?
I'm old.
Okay, you're a millennial in a 52-year-old's body.
Ooh, thank you
Give
very
you some
much.
props right
Thank
there.
you
Give you
very
some
much.
props.
There you go. You're my new best friend.
I've always been your best friend, okay? At least for the last 2 years.
And for the 1 hour together. But what's important to millennials is their ability to enjoy their time off, right? I think Matt's frozen up on us here.
I think he's frozen too.
Yeah, we can call him back. Keep going. Keep
Yeah.
going.
So if we take a look at that slide number 4. Oh, there we go. Slide number 4. Thank you very much.
Not doing great.
So they just finished rebuilding this pool. And if you take a look at the pool, right next to the pool is the main beach, and across from the main beach is beach number 3. So there is the folks out there. When I go for my morning bike ride around the lake, you've got folks out in kayaks, and there's just so much things to do there that folks aren't talking about, and it's so important to, I think, millennials to enjoy this particular time. I know, as a let's say gray millennial, a graying millennial,
A seasoned
millennial. When I'm working from home, that's what I'll do. I mean, this is what I do. I'll get out of my house, I'll go over to Beach 3, and I'll go for a swim. Take an hour off, go for a swim. Get back to work. You're not going to, at this price point, where in the heck are you going to do that?
Well, where else are you seeing it, Matt? We still got Matt there? Where else are you seeing it, Matt, as far as this millennial age? And let's be honest, we talk about this on the show all the time. Matt, you're in a great spot with your career. You're a likable dude. You're a smart dude. You're in the age range of the people that are booming from a purchasing standpoint, millennials.
38% of the buyers last year was him.
Close to 40% of the market is this millennial age group.
Right there.
They're unicorns. It's the unicorn age group. So where else do you think folks can look besides the lake, Matt, that your homies are seeing or doing?
Yeah, I mean, I've started to look with buyers north of town as well. You can look north. You can go that direction up into Ruckersville, Earlysville. You can go in different areas. I think the Lake Monticello community, like Keith's talking about, is one of a kind. So you can find like one-off properties, or you can create communities anywhere you go. I mean, if you drive 20 minutes out of Charlottesville proper, the prices drop just in general. And so
Unless
you
you
can
go into
find
Western
some decent
Albemarle.
properties. Yeah, unless you go to Western, unless you go that direction. But I think, like Keith was talking about, the community that's in the lake is very unique. You don't see that north of town. You don't see that west of town.
So if you could put slide 5 on for a second, please. So, just to put it in perspective, this was a picture taken from the 4th of July celebrations out there. They do this water skiing event all the time. The lake is 350 acres, right? It's fed by 200 springs. So if you ever swim out there and you wonder, all of a sudden it gets cold, it's literally fed by under freshwater springs.
What's the deal with the boats? Can you do any boat? Okay, so we're on screen. Any boat of any kind at the lake?
No.
Okay, is there limitations?
There is a limitation to it. I think there's a horsepower limitation and a length limitation. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's like 22 feet, and you can't have over 300 horsepower or something.
We're trying to persuade my father and mother-in-law to move from where in Long Island down here to be close to the family and the grandkid.
Sure.
When that happens, you're going to scoop up some business.
I know a real estate
when that
agent.
happens, it's going to go to you. And having a boat because of where he is on Long Island is extremely appealing to him for moving down here. And we're in the central of Virginia, which we all know, and finding an opportunity for my father-in-law to enjoy a boat now that he's retired and has earned it, right?
Sure.
After being a mechanic for 40 years,
Good for
right?
him.
Is Lake the only option? I mean, no, we have Lake Anna. That's too far for him. For us, though.
Yeah, Lake Anna is much bigger, and also,
Yeah.
but it's different. It's not a community
Right,
kind
right.
of thing.
And it's far. It's further than Lake Monticello.
It is,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, it's correct.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
much different.
So I have a 21-foot center console fishing boat. I fish on the bay, right? I got a 150 horse engine on the back of it, and I trailer it. So I'll put that in the lake, and we'll zip around, and we'll take folks water skiing on it. I'm not a freshwater fisherman. I wouldn't know how to do that. I go fish on the bay, and then I flush the salt water out of my engine in the
Then you
lake.
drink a beer.
And then I drink a beer.
Yeah, then you drink a beer.
But the folks who fish the lake, apparently it's a really good lake to fish for freshwater bass. I'm not a freshwater guy, but as you can tell on that picture, it's a great place to water ski. And again, and I was telling Matt this the other day, if you really, 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 really want to see Lake Monticello,
4th of July.
get on a boat.
Or get on a boat, yeah.
Very different.
Yeah.
Get on a boat, look at it. I mean, it's got 22.5 miles of shoreline.
That's awesome.
That's a lot on it. So, and it's got 5 beaches. Now it's a little different because there's people are doing staycations, but generally they're not crowded. And I was just at Beach 3 the other day, and people are wearing masks, and they're all respectful distances and all that fun stuff. But yeah, it always perplexed it. Well, I can't say the word.
Perplexes you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why a lot of folks don't know about it.
Well, you guys are about to blow it up.
We're trying.
Yeah.
We're trying.
I mean, Matt, it's a no-brainer at that price point. What are you thinking, Matt Kneece?
Yeah, I think that's the message right now. Is that I checked this morning. I think only 150 homes have sold this year, or at least in the last 6 months. So it's pretty much 2020 calendar year 2020, and I think that's the message that we're going with. That it really is a desirable community. I mean, we see houses fly off the market there. We just put a new one up days ago, and we already have word that there's interest in putting an offer down on it, very unofficially. So the stuff goes fast, and I think that's the message we're spreading. Is that if folks have lived there for a period of time, maybe they've started to outlive either their more active days and they're looking to upgrade. We've seen some of the older generations actually wanting more space, or families doing the mother-in-law suite deal. So people are actually upgrading and bringing family into their homes. And so those people can really get like premium dollar from young folks like myself to buy a house like that, because it's worth paying a premium for houses when they're half of the cost of something in Charlottesville proper.
Well said.
And like you said earlier, so from my house to Zion's Crossroads is 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
from my house, I could be here in 15, 20 minutes. From my house to Zion's Crossroads, I could be in 15, 20 minutes. Soon to be eating some excellent Mexican and having a couple of nice cocktails.
Do you think that corridor is going to blow up even more?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for, 2 years now?
How do you think that impacts the rest of the real estate in Fluvanna and Louisa that's around it? Because Zion's Crossroads, Louisa. Is that right?
Correct. Well,
Most of it.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
You know who told me back in the day about Zion's Crossroads? This was like 15 years, this was, 16 years ago.
When you were in diapers, right?
Fitzgerald Barnes.
Oh, yeah, Fitz.
Fitzgerald Barnes, 16 years ago, he was like singing the praises to me of this exit.
If anybody doesn't know Fitz, a fellow Marine, excellent individual.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I've met him as an athletic director when he's the athletic director of Monticello High School.
Yeah, yeah.
Love Fitz.
Yeah, Fitz, good guy.
Yeah.
But
But how does it impact the real estate, that corridor blowing up?
it's just going to grow, right? It's going to grow. I mean, we're going to talk about numbers here in a little while. After we finish chatting with the good-looking guy here. But the
You want me to leave now? Is that what you're at? Oh, okay. Oh, you meant Matt Kneece. All right, sorry, Matt Kneece. All right, Matt Kneece.
Jerry, you're
That was good.
you're on
That was
fire
good. I
today,
give you
brother.
credit.
What are you drinking?
I'm having coffee. I've been up since 4:30. Matt Kneece, what's your day-to-day look like, dude? How do you? What's your grind look like? Your day-to-day hustle?
My day-to-day grind.
Yeah.
It's usually work until I'm really stressed, and then my favorite time to work out is at like 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Nice.
And so I get my workout, I clean up, eat a lot, and then usually sit back down and do a little bit more work. before I wrap up the night.
We were just talking.
But right now, it's really flexible. Yeah, I've actually been putting a lot of thought into like organizing my day, being smarter with my time. It's where most of my energy is going right now.
Create a plan, man. Stick to it.
But training, a lot of running, a lot of training.
You playing any b-ball?
Not really.
No.
I haven't played. I did a big run this morning, so that's where most of my energy's been.
There you go. Good for you. How'd you do? How many miles?
10 miles.
You're
10 miles, 11.
Good for you, but you're training for a half, right? A half marathon or a
I'm
full?
going to do a half.
Half. Good for you.
Wow.
I'm going to do a half next weekend and a full in November. Yeah.
You got a half marathon coming up next weekend, you said?
Yeah, I'm going to do 13 next weekend. Yeah.
Good for you, buddy. Good for you. As you know, I'm a recovering long
Thanks,
distance runner. So hey, man. So
Yeah.
we're gonna jump off here in a couple of minutes. Jerry and I are gonna kind of dig into some stats. If you wouldn't mind, stay on live. Plug in some info on the feed. Thank you for helping us out there. You know, we I'm going to say this publicly in front of everybody. We were looking for a sharp young fellow or young lady to help us, and you stepped up and said, "I'll do it." So thank you very much, and we're excited to work together with you. So
Thanks for believing in me. Thanks for the vote of confidence.
see you later, brother.
See you, Matt. You have a good one. Matt Kneece, you crushed it. Seriously, dude. Thanks for coming on the show. Love some Matt Kneece. Guys, give the show a like and a share on any of the streams that you guys are watching. You know what? You want to go to the cheat sheet?
No, go ahead. You go.
Okay,
You talk.
This is without question, and I've learned a lot from you. The lake, Greene County,
Yeah. And now Nelson.
with the pipeline, but that's a little further drive.
You know, not necessarily.
How about in the tree streets around Waynesboro? And I know that's on the other side of the mountain.
Yeah,
a lot of my age group are going to the tree streets in Waynesboro proper.
Sure.
You know, like the sycamores, the peach, you know, those.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But Lake is, I think, the most appealing. Greene County is certainly very appealing as well because of the close proximity.
So you kind of hit on what I'm trying to do for the next series of shows, right? So, you know, I just picked Lake Monticello because, you know, I know it. I lived there, built hundreds and hundreds of houses there, you know, but you're 100% right. We're going to go to Greene next. We're going to kind of take a look at some of these outside.
See, and you're a smart man. You know why you're a smart man?
Uh-oh.
You know why you're a smart man?
What's that?
This is why you're a smart man. Because you have vision. You see interest rates at historical low, generational low.
Yeah.
You see 2019 data shows millennials 38% of market share.
2 years running.
2 years running. Boys and girls, that's gonna increase.
That's exactly right.
With those interest rates. You see the jumbo threshold and access to credit being tighter than a long time.
It's been tight for 10 years, but it's getting a little tighter.
Getting tighter. Mm-hmm. So, smart man, successful businessman with a vision says, let's target this price range, this type of buyer or seller, and let's make it happen. It's brilliant.
Well,
that's a plan.
Well,
a wise man told me, get a plan and stick to it.
There you go, brother.
You know who told me that?
I'm
sitting across from him.
Well, you know the old Marine Corps 6 Ps, right?
That's a good plan.
Proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You know, but look, it isn't rocket science. I'm not the only one knowing this, right? Everybody on the feed here are the real estate agents and stuff. It's just what the numbers are showing, right? It is what it is.
But there's knowing and executing.
Yeah, and I'm just blessed and lucky to have this opportunity here with you guys and the camera and the microphone to talk a little bit about it. And so, you know, what did somebody once say? I'd rather be lucky than good any day of the week, right? So I was very fortunate to stumble into this opportunity with you guys, and you know, until you kick me out.
You have a number of folks from Lake Monticello watching the show now,
cool.
offering perspective.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, so Carly Teeger is watching. Mm-hmm. Carly, she shares this perspective for Keith and Matt and all the viewers. Personally, I rarely mind the drive from Charlottesville to Lake Monticello. When friends come out to visit, they're usually surprised how easy the drive is to the lake from Charlottesville. That's from a resident in Lake Monticello. This is from Laura Monk. Guys, I've enjoyed the show. I live in Lake Monticello, and I agree with you guys that we all think this neighborhood is going to boom. It makes us nervous because we're going to be here for a while, but we understand that this is good for our property values long term. Okay, another comment. Are you ready for this one? This is from Chris. I live inside the gates, and we have been waiting for a while to enjoy the type of appreciation that you guys are talking about. I think we all see it's right on the horizon.
It is. It's growing.
April Dent Ward has a comment.
April.
Show them what they get in Charlottesville and what they can get at the lake. Double the house for lower money. I mean, I can keep continuing if you want. James Watson, your brother-in-law, says, this is what Fluvanna needs. A brewery, and then they will have it all.
You know, we're working on that, James.
A brewery?
Maybe. Could
Ooh.
be. Maybe.
Well, you got anything else you
Could
want to
be.
say?
No.
Okay, we're going to leave it at that?
We're working on that. I've got to tap into his resources a little bit.
Okay.
No,
A brewery would be great there.
brewery, yeah. And I know this may or may not be exciting to everybody, but when you have somebody like, we've got, I'm trying to think if I can actually talk about this. We have a major retailer coming out, Tractor Supply, coming out to that area. You know, that's
Tractor Supply is coming to Fluvanna.
yeah.
Did you just say that? Is that confirmed?
It is, yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Tractor Supply is coming to Fluvanna.
Yeah.
Tractor Supply's location is...
That I can't talk about.
Okay, and where... Remind me where Tractor Supply is now?
So it's in Charlottesville.
Okay, is it on 29?
Yeah, it's right over by where the old Riverside Burgers used to be.
Okay,
Yeah.
good for you.
Literally right there. Yeah. So that's coming out. So that's going to drive some traffic and talk about traffic. We got the new roundabout going on there over by Effort Baptist Church and 53. And there's a subdivision called Colonial Circle that's going to be coming out of the ground there. I just had a conversation with the guys at Ryan across from the main gate. They're doing a subdivision across there. They are a third sold out. They're selling them like hotcakes.
Wow.
So everybody's kind of, it's where the price point is. The drive, again, is really not that long. I personally love it. So my drive into here this morning.
You decompress,
I love it.
right?
Yeah.
I just moved. So I moved from Redfield to the east side of town. Added a little 6 minutes extra. You forget with technology today, even the additional time. Because you just listen to something, you put a podcast on, you decompress, you play a little music, whatever it may be, and you're just feeling better when you walk into the house. You know what I'm saying?
So I actually don't do that.
Oh, what do you do?
I just pay attention. I just absorb, right? So I come in on 53.
Uh-huh.
So I get to go past Monticello. I go past a couple of vineyards, right? And it's just a nice decompress, get myself ready for the day, or, I'm done coming back in. So can we talk numbers?
Yeah. The only thing that I'm worried about, and correct me if I'm wrong here, you said there's 4,500 homes.
No,
4,500 lots.
4,200 homes. Roughly.
4,500 lots, 4,200 homes.
Roughly, yeah.
So you're 300 lots open.
And I would tell you,
Not all of them are developable.
Nah.
That's why there are 300 lots left.
yeah. So the rule of thumb,
On 4,500 lots is how many are not developable?
anywhere between 5 to 10%.
Really?
So I would say close to 5% is kind of the average.
So that's 225 lots.
Yeah, there's really new buildable lots. I didn't run the numbers on them, but there's very few of them available. Maybe 100, 150.
Okay, so
like
if
that.
okay, that was just going to say. So
Yeah.
there's not much
No.
dirt left
No.
to build on.
So these are resales.
Yeah.
There are some new construction going out there, not a lot. But, when I moved there, just to put it in perspective, when I moved there in 87, there was only 600 houses there and 4,200 lots.
How many did you build?
Hundreds and hundreds. I literally, for 20 years, never went anywhere.
You just built there.
I used to get what I call lake-itis
Lake-itis.
because I never went anywhere.
You go to Charlottesville all the time now.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
you love it.
I love it, actually. So, Matt touched a little bit on numbers, and you and I like to geek out on numbers.
I'd love
So let's geek out on some numbers here. So, just ran some stuff as of this morning.
Uh-huh.
So as of this morning, there's Lake Monticello. There's 25 homes available for sale.
Okay.
So let's put that in perspective. 25 for sale out of 4,200 homes. I think that's like 0.25%, somewhere around a third of. It's not even a half of 1% available for. And they're ranging between 170 and 695. So the 170s are the small starter homes. The 695 there's a waterfront homes. And so if you want to look at it, I actually printed out the actual numbers for you if you ever
love
want
it.
to play around with it. Medium 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. The average medium square footage is 1920. So the median list price is $249. So you remember when we talked on Tuesday, we were talking about, how rent versus own?
Yeah.
Right? Remember what that number was? It
Yeah.
was somewhere around $250 would be equal to the rent of $1,500 a month. I think it's little over 15.
He's basically saying you get a home at $250,000. The overhead, the monthly nut, the mortgage, et cetera, that you're going to have on this home that you buy for $250K is synonymous or basically equivalent to you renting a home of similar size and location.
And that includes paying the $95 HOA fee.
Right.
You actually will make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about Lake Monticello, which is again another fact that a lot of folks don't know, the realtors know this because they're smart. It qualifies for USD. What are you laughing for?
I just like how you say stuff. You guys don't know, but the realtors do because they're smart. But you people don't. I like that.
Did I just put my foot in my mouth?
I thought it was funny. Okay. Contact a trusted advisor. Contact a trusted advisor.
So I apologize if I offended somebody. I forget these cameras on, and you and I are just having a cup of coffee.
I think that's why people watch, Keith.
Yeah, but it's important to get this out though because it qualifies for a USDA loan, Lake Monticello. So it's a centralized water and sewer. It's a subdivision. You mentioned it earlier. It's a city, right? It's 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Right. But it qualifies for zero down USDA money. It is considered a rural product out there from that. And that's huge. So you can go in for a $250,000 house, no money down, no money down.
All right. Are you, folks, can you please listen to what this gentleman is saying? Okay.
Well, there's a challenge.
Okay. What's the challenge?
The challenge is lack of homes.
Oh,
to
you
buy.
have no inventory is the problem.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what you're trying to do here is anybody that's aging or it looks to downsize. Or,
you stop looking at me when you say that.
I'm looking at you because my chair's in front of you. You're basically, we need to create inventory here. And you're saying to the folks that are on the fence of selling their home, demand is at an all-time high so you can get a premium for your home.
Zero down.
Right.
Less than 3%.
Interest rate.
And
no inventory around on the market on the MLS.
Well, right now we only got 25 out there.
And buyers are chomping at the bit to get a house because of COVID.
Well, so if you take a look at it, the current pending, right, is 66 homes. So pendings are homes that were active. Somebody put a contract on them, so they're in the closing process.
Sure.
On that. 66 homes. We got 25 available. 66 is currently pending. My math is that's a ratio of 2.5 to 1.
That's not a healthy market.
That is not a good number.
No.
It's a good number for the people that got them.
Oh, exactly. It's a good number if you own a home in Lake Monticello right now.
Well, it's a good number if you are trying to sell a home at the right price point at Lake
the
Monticello,
lake. Yeah.
At the lake. And if you're in one of these pending folks, but if you're trying to buy something,
right.
The delta of what's available at that 200 to 225, there's maybe, when you take a look at medium, you're looking in the middle sections, you've got maybe 1, 2, 3, a dozen houses maybe available at that price point. What are you smiling about? Somebody giving me a hard time? I don't like this fact that I can't see these feeds.
All right, I'll give you the good ones.
Good ones.
Terry Benton.
Yeah.
I love Lake Monticello. It's an absolute treasure. And I work at Atlantic Union Bank in Richmond, commercial real estate, but I've been 24 years at Lake Monticello. It's absolutely fantastic, and she loves the show, Keith. She says you're looking sharp.
Hey, Terry, give me a call, will you?
Give Keith the call, Terry. Give Keith the call.
No, really, I'd like to catch up.
Michael Guthrie says, Keith, it's not that we're smarter than them. It's that we just have more knowledge because we are educating ourselves every day. Well said, Michael Guthrie.
Thank you for keeping me straight.
Well said, Michael Guthrie. Caitlin Mancini. Caitlin Mancini must be in sales. Caitlin Mancini says this in the feed. 161 Jefferson Drive is for sale at Lake Monticello, $238,000. Updated, fenced, 2,150 square feet, 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Caitlin, are you selling a home right now on Real Talk?
And 2,100 and over 2,100 square feet.
2,150.
68 according to my thing.
She says 150. All right, 18 square foot difference.
We will not split.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. Outstanding.
Yonna, the beautiful 7/8.
Yeah.
Homes at Lake Monticello go under contract on a 1-to-2 ratio.
More than
This
that.
is a phenomenal time to list your home at Lake Monticello.
So to go back to the numbers, so those 66, the median square footage is 1,715, and the 225 is the median sales price. But an interesting, so I looked the last 30 days, what have sold at Lake Monticello.
Yeah.
So 39 homes sold, somewhere between the 130 and the 485, 1,800 square feet, and 224. So they're running around 224, 225 is the median.
Your buddy Quentin Beckham?
Yeah.
The last 12 months, gentlemen, inside the lake, there were 306 sales at a median price of $227,250.
Yeah, we're close.
In the city of Charlottesville, 568 sales median price was $363,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a freaking delta of, oh my God, that's a delta of that's a delta of almost $140,000.
And you don't have 5 beaches, a golf course. You can water ski. Don't have your own police department.
Can I say it in like the most obvious layman terms for everybody that's watching? Anybody that's watching this program, if you are renting a house, or if your friend or loved one is renting a house in Charlottesville or Central Virginia, listen to what I'm about to say. Lake Monticello has loan opportunities where you can put $0 down.
That's correct.
When you put $0 down, you can buy a home through a USDA mortgage vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
You then get this home that could appreciate 3 to 5%. Let's be conservative.
3, I do.
3% every year. Yeah. You then can make payments against this home that is essentially an equity savings account, so you're winning that way as well. If you're renting, you're probably paying in the neighborhood of $1,600 a month. You can own a home, and you can lower your monthly nut by doing this in Lake Monticello. Coming out in the black, maybe $100 a month.
Oh, sure.
Maybe $150 a month. Still in the black.
We just take that $150
and just throw it against the debt, the debt service.
So it's a principal.
To the principal.
That's exactly right.
I mean, this is a freaking slam dunk. And this is how you build generational wealth.
Absolutely. So there's one other before we run out of time here.
You are educating people.
And Michael Guthrie's educating me to use better words. So thank you, Mr. Guthrie. I appreciate that.
I think you said the same thing. He just said it a different way.
No, I didn't mean to be offensive. So if I was, I apologize.
Yeah.
But funny. Sometimes the mouth kind of moves, and
you're from Brooklyn.
Yeah, something like that.
You're from Brooklyn.
But so something that Fluvanna County offers that most people do not know about is a park called Pleasant Grove.
I love Pleasant Grove.
Do you go there?
You know why?
Why is that?
Disc golf.
Yeah. So what else do you do out there?
Well, I mean, you can disc golf, you can mountain bike. Mm-hmm. I love mountain biking.
30 miles of mountain bike trails.
Yeah, it's great. I mountain bike at Walnut Creek, O'Hill, Pretty Creek.
Yeah.
I've done Pleasant Grove. Disc golf is big.
Yeah. They just built a new pavilion out there. They have all kinds of neat stuff. But it's 1,000 acres, and the county, which I was involved when they purchased that, 20-something years ago, was a big thing. They bought 1,000 acres for $1 million. I can't remember how many. I think it was 25 years ago, which was very controversial.
Fluvanna bought 1,000 acres for $1 million from whom?
From the property owners at that time.
From the property. So that was a phenomenal deal by Fluvanna County now.
They were,
in retrospect.
They were forward thinking.
Yeah.
And just think about that. What other jurisdiction? I think
If you're
Albemarle
out,
County has a couple.
Biscuit Run, if you have the political connections of Hunter Craig, you can somehow convert dirt that you plan to develop in 2008 into a park that's owned by the county for tax rebates. There is
Well,
that.
but technically, I know a little bit about this because I'm part of it.
Yeah.
Biscuit Run is not a state.
No.
Excuse me, it's not a county, it's a state park.
State park. Yeah, state
so
park.
this is a county-owned park that's 1,000 acres.
Yeah.
Has, I can't tell you how many miles of riverfront.
Yeah.
And, the sandy beach. I mean, it's really, if you haven't been out there, it's really a neat thing. I'll go out there. I used to run it out there all the time. Now I'm going to take my bike out there to go ahead and do that. Good. So when do you go out there?
Well, I did it a lot more, obviously, before.
We should connect next time
before
we
the
do it.
fam, before my little boy was born. I do. Mountain biking is a passion. We have a trail in the neighborhood as well, where I'm at now on the east side of the county. You love biking.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, there's something that makes me nostalgic of my youth and childhood
When you're on a bike.
when I'm on a bicycle.
It's funny. I just picked
You feel
up,
free.
I picked that up 2 months ago. I can't run any longer.
It's almost an addiction, right?
Yeah. We talked about this before we came on air. I'm angry with myself. I didn't get my hour ride in this morning because I was just too busy with work stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And there's less wear and tear on your knees.
Oh, man.
And your body.
I should have did that a long time ago. So Google Fluvanna County Parks, Pleasant Grove, super great maps. So again, everything that we're reading about millennials, everything that's coming back, they want to do this kind of stuff, and mountain bike and all that stuff.
Horseback riding, Yonna Smith.
Yeah, horseback riding. And when you come out of Lake Mount, the Food Line Gate, make the left to go there, make a right-hand turn to Wahoo Barbecue and pick up some of the best.
You love that barbecue.
I do.
Caitlin Mancini says, Keith, Cunningham Winery is a wonderful winery
There
out
you
in
go.
Fluvanna too.
There you
They
go.
give back to the community and support the the Fluvanna SPCA regularly.
Thank you, Caitlin. Absolutely.
Cunningham
I
Creek.
forgot all about that. Thank you. We do that all the time.
There
out
should be, I'll just throw this out there, and I love this show. First time I looked at the clock was right now, and it's 11:19.
Is it really?
Yeah, and I think it's just like I'm hanging out with my buddy, drinking some coffee. Remember when we figure out what we're gonna do? Two dudes drinking coffee. I think we were gonna call it Coffee Talk at one time.
At one time,
Remember?
we were going to do it, but I figured we'd cross SNL a little bit.
Yeah, right. You're like, I think Coffee Talk is taken.
I think SNL might have a problem with
Yeah.
that.
So two dudes over coffee. I had no idea there were 13 restaurants.
Yeah.
There should be a campaign. Just a
Well,
suggestion.
restaurants is everything. Eateries, the better choice of words.
There should be a campaign originated by the municipality itself about here's why Fluvanna County is good for you.
Yeah, so so Brian Rothermill's a friend of mine. He's the economic.
He's doing a heck of a job.
Doing a great job.
Yeah.
He's a economic development director for Fluvanna County, and maybe what I might say sounds a little arrogant. They don't have the resources or the capability to do what we're doing right now, right? They just don't have it. And so, we'll bring him on again, talk a little bit about it, but I wanted to take an opportunity. Both my children went through the Fluvanna County high school system.
1.0 or 2.0? They went through 1.0, right? Because the school, 2.0 is the new school. At
Oh,
Fluvanna.
yeah.
They were 1.0.
No, they were 1.0.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I think Yvonne, and Yonna might correct me if I'm wrong, I think Yvonne graduated high school the year before the
new school.
The new school was built.
Okay,
Somewhere along that. But I just wanted to take a little bit of time to showcase it a little bit. It's home. It's been home for 30 years.
You did well by your community today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But, the numbers don't lie. If you're thinking about selling, please give us a call. Give anybody on this feed a call on it. If you're thinking about buying, go check out Caitlin's house. It's a really nice house.
Also, if you're thinking about buying, Trevor and Mona Daniel watching.
There you go.
Phenomenal listing.
It's exactly
In
right.
Cascadia.
In Delphi.
Yeah.
Take a look at
on
it.
Pantops.
Pantops. Come
Yeah.
out and buy it.
Absolutely. A phenomenal listing, tremendous value, great location.
Excellent views. by
Yeah,
the way.
excellent views. So consider that listing, guys, in Cascadia. I think it's one of the fantastic properties currently on the market for a family.
The best.
Yeah, absolutely. Keith, we have a video we're going to get to, Judah. Have that ready to go. Before we do, my friend, Any other items of the notebook? I think we've done another strong outing today.
You know.
Can we say, are we going to say Matt Kneece, the best dressed realtor in Charlottesville and Central Virginia?
Sure.
Are you going to say that?
Okay.
What's your top 3? How about a top? Why don't we close like this? People will love this. What are the top 5
get me
best
into
dressed realtors in Charlottesville and Central Virginia?
No, I'm not going to go there. You're going to get me into trouble.
Who do you think is in the top? I got some ideas.
I'll hear them and I'll do this and that. How does that sound?
Well, is Kneece one?
I would say he's one of
Who's the best dressed female realtor in Charlottesville and Central Virginia?
Yonna Smith.
Yonna Smith. Judah laughed on that one. Judah.
He knew it was coming.
Yonna Smith.
You're trying to bait me.
All right, I'm gonna redo the rankings. Keith Smith and Yonna Smith cannot be on the top 5 dress realtor list in Charlottesville and Central Virginia.
Dude,
we have plenty of time.
Dude, we gotta go.
I know the guy that owns the network. We have plenty of time.
You know the guy that owns the network.
Plenty of time here. Kneece one. Who else is on that list?
Yeah, you're killing me.
You know, come on. You come across sharp dressed people.
I have to tell you.
You have an eye for fashion.
Thank you. I have to tell you, all kidding aside.
Yeah.
I don't think I've come across, particularly female realtors. I have not found one that is not well dressed. So that I could not think of one that, you know, they are highly professional. They dress professionally. And so
You're taking the safe answer right there. I like it.
No. I'm honest. This is my honest opinion.
Okay.
The same thing with the dudes. Some may a little, you know, I just like to wear a suit and stuff like that.
I mean, you're generally, I'd say 99% of the time, the sharpest dressed guy in the outing.
I don't know about that.
Well, in a place like Charlottesville, there's not a lot of folks that wear jackets like us.
No. Well,
you know that's right.
yeah, well, people have different styles, and you have to respect that.
Yeah.
You're trying to get me into trouble,
No,
and I'm trying to work my way out of it.
I just like top 5 links. I like top 5s. I like top 5s.
Well, talk about tops. You know, the video that we're going to show is real estate is a top investment. And do me a favor, if you can hang on for a minute and watch this. This is a really good video we put together and talks about, you know, why real estate is a top investment. So
Keith says, or Yonna says, Keith, honey, these brownie points are really building up.
there you go. There you go.
You're getting some man points in the bank account right there.
Well, I'm probably going to screw it. I'm probably going to eat them
Don't
up.
talk anymore. Don't talk anymore.
But let me see what time is it.
It's 11:24.
Yeah, by noon, I'll probably screw all those points up. So
When Judah's laughing, you know it's fine. All right, should we close with the video?
please,
Okay, thank you.
thank you, buddy. Appreciate the
fun.
time, Judah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, Judah, legit. I enjoyed it.
Always do.
I enjoy it. I feel like I laugh and have a good time for this show. My friend, let's play the finishing video. He's Keith Smith, Yes Team Realtors. Keith and Yonna Smith, trusted advisors in this game we call real estate. Judah Wickower is our director. My name is Jerry Miller. This is Real Talk that airs Tuesdays and Fridays on the I Love CVille Network. My friend Judah Wickower in 3, 2, 1.
Have a good weekend, folks.